We're going to do a reading specifically for twin flames to see what is going on for the divine feminine, the divine masculine collective. We have some big energies coming at us as we're getting ready for the equinox, and we're getting ready for eclipse season as well too. But we're going to go ahead and start with a reading for the divine feminine right now. Just to start, we're going to talk about healing separation issues, and these can be even if you're in union, the blocks that come up, things that put distance in the connection, or other issues that come up. With twin flame, your underlying issues are going to come up really, really fast, because this is an intense connection that sees all as well too. So a lot of people think they get to this, I'll call it a level or this place, they've met their twin flame, and it starts out like this fairy tale and it's amazing and blissful, and then the issues come up as well too oftentimes. And it kind of depends on how much inner work you have put in and how much inner work you're willing to put in to maintain your own balance and harmony in this connection too. So we're starting with divine feminine. The first thing that comes up is balance. Twin flame is also a third energy. It's the universal energy, and you're both having to maintain a very high frequency to stay in that higher spiritual alignment with yourselves and with each other as well too. And twin flames are the yin and the yang. They are the darkness and the light. This is important that you're staying in your spiritual connection. When you get thrown off or you're not able to maintain it, you end up in a separation. Some of the reasons for separations are ego issues, control issues, and trust issues as well too. Maybe some of these things are well-founded, but they do lead to separation issues as well too. And you can see this is a very common theme for twin flames. A lot of you guys that have been in the dynamic, you're figuring out that there are certain things you can and you can't control in life, but you're finding everything external. Well, you want to put your manifestations out there, and you are probably learning how to bend reality as you're living in the 5E somewhat. Oftentimes, the only thing that you can control is yourself, how you're responding to situations, and even your vibrational frequency. It's very important that you're coming into alignment with yourself. Separations happen for many different reasons, but oftentimes they're happening so that you can come back home to yourself and get in these higher frequency states. Some of you guys have had a lot of, well, I'll say a few relationships, maybe even a few karmic relationships that have left limiting beliefs around love in your past and things like that that are affecting you in your love life and even in your twin flame situation now. And oftentimes twin flames go through a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs, and even separation states as well too, to come into that lasting union as well too. Just kind of depends on where you're at with it, but this can be very common for twin flame. The solution is to come into alignment with yourself and into this divine alignment with yourself, your purpose, and even your mission during this time. So it's about staying in these higher frequency energies. We're going to talk about a couple things too with this. Okay, so there have been certain cycles that have played out and even completed with your twin flame, because this is a twin flame reading too. This is about staying grounded and moving through these cycles. Sometimes people have done a lot of inner work, sometimes not. It depends on where you and your twin flame are as you're separate people, two separate people trying to come together. And oftentimes it comes down to karmic patterns, programs, things that each has going on, and how much unhealed baggage each of you has as well too. There are certain cycles that may have played out, maybe even in the negative as well too, with your twin flame. You might have noticed certain patterns playing out or things like that. And this is something I really notice in mine as well too. And this could be other people's patterns, your own things that are coming up, whatever it is as well too. But this is about, no matter where your situation is, just getting in a deeper alignment right now, energetically continuing to work on your energy and continuing to raise your frequency. And when you're not, you usually end up in separation. If you're putting too much focus on the other person and not enough on you, this can deplete you. It's very important right now. We have a big theme on self-love and self-care right now. And lack of self-love leads to codependency, jealousy, and other relationship issues as well too, and imbalances. And it's usually when you're focused too much on someone outside of yourselves as well too. And then usually a lot of you guys have engaged in or been in, whether in the past or currently, codependent dynamics where it's all about the other person, right? You don't have a lot of room for yourself and your own interests and activities. It's all about this other stuff. and you're needing to shift that focus back to yourself and to really, really love yourself in these areas and to take care of yourself, to fill your own cup, to heal your heart chakra, to let go of past hurts and past energies. We have that as a theme too, because you might have to do some forgiveness work with yourself and your twin flame for how things have went within the twin flame connection as well too, because we have certain cycles that have played out, and in order to heal and move through some of these as well too. All right, we have shift your perception of things. We have red flags, delusion, perspective, and see through your own false beliefs. So we're in Pisces season. This is, I don't want to say ripe for illusions, right? But you're meant to be seeing through these limitations and illusions, and especially when it comes to love and things like that. This might be how you are maybe idealizing your partner, not really noticing if they weren't compatible for you, or red flags or issues that they had going on, right? And stuff like that. We have shifting your perspective of these things as well too, and kind of getting a more realistic view of things. And this could be shifting out of negative limitations around love from past energies. The more that you let go of your past and past hurts and wounds around love, the more you can open up your heart to this connection as well too. We have control coming up. We were talking about this as well too. This is like release the need to control situations. You're going to find that you can't always control things. You can go ahead and show up and give it your all, but there's a lot of things that are past your control as to how things will play out. Trust the universe in this circumstance as well too, as things are playing out, because this is coming up. This could be you or your partner trying to control things as well too, or trying to control the situation. Now, not to keep bringing it up, but if there's a runner chaser dynamic, the runner is often in this energy of trying to control things, and you'll say, why? Well, they made sure that you fell in love with them first, and then they ran away. And you say, what? And this is an energy thing, because I'm studying the energy dynamics of this. So this is so they could pull your strings, so to speak, or pull your strings, right? Because they made sure that you were already kind of hooked. And then they can pull you, and this is a way to pull energy as well too. So God forbid if you're in one of these situations, time to recalibrate and reattune and realign your energies, time to really focus on yourself, and time to disconnect from this person. Now, people are always asking, is there a reconciliation, or am I coming back together? It depends on the other person. If they made it clear that, number one, they may not be awakened enough for this connection at that moment, they may have other things going on, or they might just not be ready for a relationship of this caliber either. And it's going to depend on both kind of wanting to be all in on this. So if you're in one of these dynamics, you need to disconnect and you need to really focus on yourself. And a lot of times twin flame will take you through cycles of that anyways, whether it's, separation, union, reunions, right? And things like that. Regardless, you're needing to maintain your own energy and to stay in these higher frequencies, because that's how you guys can maintain this third flame energy that you're trying to hold as well too. In the meantime, you're meant to be working on your spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening leads to spiritual enlightenment. This is tapping into the magic. This is like going into the unknown too. And you might feel like that. You get taken into these void spaces as well too. Really tapping into your spiritual awakening and working on it. This is something you're going to be working on, bettering yourself. The best thing that you can do is to work on your energy, to clear negative habits, patterns, things that you know are holding you back on your end, things that have been coming up as blocks for you in your life in general, things that have been blocking your success. It could be where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your energy. You might be too scattered, or it could be outright negative habits and things that you need to clear. Okay, so you're finding out you're inseparable. Your love is always there despite the distance. And this is what teaches you that twin flames are very telepathic. Doesn't matter if one disconnects or both disconnect, and the universe pulls you in different directions. That is what I write about as well too. I've been writing a lot of books on this topic, and my last book is Star-Crossed, where there's a lot of external challenges and obstacles that might come up, or things in your plan or whatever it is as well too. One of the blocks for twin flame union is universal karma that needs to be healed or played out, or different things like that as well too. And everyone's in their own unique situation as well too, but you're going to find that this is a connection bound in the spiritual, that you guys are bound together. Your lives are intertwined always, and whether you feel like that or not, there's a reason you met in this lifetime and other lifetimes Now, if you're in a separation, this connection may have been toxic or not good for you. Could have been the other person, you, whatever. It could have been that you weren't ready. Divine timing is coming together in union in that divine timing when it was planned out, or when the universe thinks you're ready as well too, because the universe gives us all of our lessons. But you're going to find that you can't get rid of this connection. It's a spiritual connection, and that you're always corded together unlike other people. Now, you're encouraged to cut karmic cords and connections, but with your twin flame, you're different. You're always intertwined as well too. So there is a sharing of energy that happens too. You can sense each other's moods, emotions, what's going on with each other. You get a lot of messages and downloads, especially the more clear that you are too. So when you're upset, maybe the connection can be blocked by negative energy, but when you're in a higher state, you're going to get a lot of like information, seeing things in a new way, getting higher perspectives, getting downloads, and getting direct guidance from source on this situation, and your spirit guides and things like that as well too. Pay attention to the energies you're picking up on. You guys have unfinished business. There's things to resolve and discuss, and this is how you'll know. Yes, some connections are over, but usually twin flame is not. It can be, depending on how it was left off and how that person has left it. But you'll know in your heart if this is over, if this is done, if you've gotten the lessons and it's over. But there's something unresolved in this reading. Whoever is coming to mind when we're doing this, you know who your twin flame is. Whoever you're thinking about, there's something left open here. Maybe you didn't get closure. Maybe they just left you hanging. Maybe it was just kind of like how it went. Or maybe you realize that you didn't even get started, or you didn't have a chance, or whatever it is. There's something open and unresolved within this connection where we close out karmic cycles. This is left open. It might be in the background for you. It might be coming into your mind a lot. You might be guided to be doing a lot of healing work or trying to heal the connection as well too. There's third-party energies. There's other things that got in the way of being together. This is negative outside energies outside of both of you. Usually it's other people step in and other karmic lessons or things that are going on. And it could be, usually it's other people, but it doesn't have to be. It could be external situations, obstacles. Twin flames will face great obstacles to be together as well too. This is part of the twin flame testing and things like that. And just kind of depends. There are people that will try to throw off these unions. You've had people that were around you, that were family, friends, lovers, that were here to throw you off your path and to keep you, right? Like karmic lovers are a good example of that. Like they're here to keep you away from your twin flame and, you know, the orchestration of it. So there are things that are here to throw you off your spiritual path. This is why sometimes when you go through a spiritual awakening, you do a lot of clearing where you're clearing like past connections around you. Suddenly you can read intentions and tell people don't have your best interest in mind, or that they don't care about you and things like that. So just pay attention to outside negative energies trying to throw you off. We can call these karmic energies. It could be karmic people or karmic situations. Divine Feminine is not happy. Divine Feminine is not happy in how things are going. I know, right? I always think that's a reflection of where you're at, of how much the masculine's putting into. Okay, Divine Feminine is at this place where you're being guided to surrender and let this connection go. And this is the paradox of twin flame, where it's something that, you know, your soul craves and wants, but you have to let it go and release it and to heal all these attachments. And I was explaining this, while you can't cut the cords, sometimes there's attachments between you that are not of love. And you might have to go into multiple separations to clear these energies individually, but between both of you so that you're connecting right. I know, or it can become a draining codependent dynamic. This is what we're talking about. So oftentimes you're having to get more in your own energy because this is a different type of connection, and it just kind of depends. But you're being guided to let go and to give up on this. And you'll say, what? But this is what I want. Well, that is the path. It's the paradox, right? And it is a paradox, twin flame, because it's like, you know, you're having to let go to reach this place, and you're having to let it go to the divine. You're having to just surrender your entire path. This is part of the 5e, and to trust how it's playing out in your life, and to realize that very much a lot of this is past your control. And the more that you hang on, the more painful it is. I've gone through multiple separations. I'd say at least 6 of them, maybe 7, right? Oh my God. And I ask why, because I teach this stuff and I'm getting good at it, but I also had to work through the process And the more that I would hold on, and you can't let go, it's very hard. The more I would hold on, the more it would hurt me. I would think of this person, it would cause a lot of pain. It would cause a lot of suffering, anguish, you know, the negative feelings of it. When I just let go and was like, okay, this is done. I'm done with it. And tried to move on, and you can't fully, it's always there in the background, but when you do and you let go and you surrender to the higher forces, because you realize that the universe is guiding each twin flame and needs to move each through certain lessons, you feel so much better. Now you're going to have your moments, right, where your days where you come back to it, or you're trying. It's very hard because of this spiritual connection that goes past the physical, right? Because we're in the physical. It's easy to let go in the physical, but it's something on the higher that you're having to also let go of it. But this is surrendering your ego to the process. And before we get to this space of surrender, let's back up. We go into the separation when your ego got triggered up, right? So when you're going through certain layers and healing certain things in the chakra, when your ego comes out, this is crown chakra work, and you go into separation because your egos have clashed. And then it's about opening the crown and surrendering to your spiritual path, to this spiritual destiny that you have, whether it's with your twin flame or not as well too. Amazing things happen when you do surrender on the side of your twin flame as well too, believe it or not. So you're being guided to let go of this and to really focus on your energy. Like living your life, like for once in your life, because you've been very busy with a lot of karma that you've been clearing in this lifetime. And this might be the first chance that you've had to truly live the life that you are meant to. Okay, so we have divine intervention. This is my favorite: serendipity, catalyst, supernatural, and karma. Okay, this is like your world is burning down. You might feel like you were burned down. I talk about this a ton, the different initiations that twin flame go through. It's called twin flame for a reason. You might feel like you were left in the ashes or completely burnt out at a certain point from this. And this is part of it, the cleansing and the purifying that you go through. But this person has been a catalyst for your spiritual awakening, to awaken you more. They've shown you all of the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, and all of this stuff. And then maybe they've gone. It depends differently, right? Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're gone. And sometimes it's like they're there and you're not getting enough, right? And because you're so used to the 3D, or they're gone and you're left to deal with this and, you know, ignite your own inner flame again. So this is like serendipity. This is why things do or don't work out. This is more than divine timing. It's the universal energies where, you know, the universe may have blocked you from being together, or brought you together, or might bring you together multiple times. Serendipity is a beautiful thing. There's a lot of that around twin flames right now. You might be seeing it in synchronicity, messages, how things are playing out. So you're needing to trust in the divine timing. This was not the right timing if you're not in physical union. This is like the perfect timing, and you might be waiting on that too. Divine timing is about your inner alignment and being ready too. So if this wasn't going good, you're not going to be together. So this is about coming into a deeper alignment as well too, and trusting in the divine timing of your life. All right, this is addiction. You might be addicted to your twin flame too. Sometimes love is an addiction. Oftentimes that's the codependent, and we have the love avoidant, which is the avoidant, right? They're the runner. Okay, so sometimes we have, and this could be the chaser, right? We have the, like, you might have been addicted to this person. You might have been a little too wrapped up in them and their energy, and it was too intense for them because they couldn't handle it with their attachment style. So this is toxic attachment. Sometimes it's drugs, alcohol, and being too obsessed with this person. You could be having a lot of thoughts about this person, not realizing you're connecting with them. If they're negative, it's a negative attachment. If they're positive, doesn't matter. You're still pulling on their energy from your side. And so this is like healing any addictions. Sometimes when you go into the space of separation, if you have underlying attachment issues or addictions, they come right up because it's how you deal with things. So if you go into separation, right, it's anguish and pain, very painful energy that comes up. Your first response is to go back to toxic habits, whether it's karmics. I know we see this a lot. Drugs, alcohol, comforts, right? Food, binge eating, right? Like all the negative, like you try to go back to the 3D habits, because if you haven't resolved them, they're still there. And then you'll probably find that you can't. So this is like healing any types of toxic attachments, but it could be with your twin flame energetically, or it could be underlying attachment wounds. I wrote so many books on this topic, you guys know that, about like healing your attachment style, because I didn't know any of this stuff till I went through my own twin flame experience, and a lot of stuff was coming up and things like that. Especially a lot of times you and your twin flame can be polar opposite attachment styles. So I have more of a anxious leaning on secure attachment style, but my twin flame had a dismissive avoidant attachment style, which is like one of the worst. They were kind of leaning on disorganized, but they were definitely dismissive avoidant. So I am the one who's like, I'm used to having people around and doing normal healthy relationships my whole life, right? Maybe leaning on codependent because I'm like needing these. And my twin flame is the opposite end of the spectrum, where he went through a lot of, we'll say, neglect in childhood and doesn't need anyone and pushes everyone away and prefers the solitude. But very, very toxic stuff was happening between both of us, because, you know, that triggers on my end the need for closeness, and on the other end the running away and, you know, looking for faults to run away and leave or abandon the connection. And this can really, really lead to a lot of cycles of, we'll say, toxic cycles, and how you're dealing with things as well too. And it just kind of depends, but oftentimes twin flames have different programming. They've grown up in different families, and the more programming that you've had, you know, the more issues that you're going to have too. And it just kind of depends on what life you've been through here on earth as well too, because this is a soul connection and you will find each other, but you've taken on these 3D identities that come from family and society and programming and more programming. And not to pick, but oftentimes the masculine's been through more programming as well too. It just kind of depends on your upbringing and abandonment and issues that you've been through as well too, as to how much attachment issues and trauma that you're carrying. So twin flame will show you attachment wounds and issues and how you're connecting. Our souls speak the same language that only you and I get, and this is important too, that you guys have like your own little hidden language as well too. And this is like what you're into, what you do with your free time. You're going to find you very much complement each other. You could hang out all day together, where some other connections, you're going to try that and you're going to find out you couldn't as well too. So you're very much speaking an energetic language of frequency, where your frequencies go together and like really match. I desire union just as strongly as you, and sometimes there's blocks to that, and it could be on a higher universal level, how things are playing out or things you guys need to take care of, but both are desiring union. And sometimes you have to remind yourself of that too. Whatever you're feeling and experiencing, your twin flame is feeling and experiencing as well too, because you're connecting on a soul level. You share that soul, and oftentimes, this depends on where you're at in the physical. You've already merged that soul into oneness. It's what you feel when you meet and you like feel this really strong energy and coming together. So many of you are already merged together on a spiritual level. Just kind of depends on how much you were around each other, how deep you went as well too. And because of that, when you're connecting with your soul and those energies, you're drawing through the same feelings, because a lot of our feelings, urges, and desires come through on a soul level. They're desiring and mirroring you on a lot of levels too, whether it's just the thoughts, what's happened, or how you're feeling. They want union just as bad too. They may have barriers and blocks just as everyone does in getting there that are still playing out if you're in separation. Just be mindful. So the best thing you can do is to really start to clear and heal these things on your side. Your twin flame is going to show you things about yourself, just like every other relationship as well too. Like the issues, they tell you a lot about yourself as well too. They go deep into past lifetimes too. Just kind of depends on your awareness of this. I'm not ready to trust in divine timing. And this is important because we talked about needing to trust in divine timing and not really having a choice. And sometimes this is where we see the resistance. I work with so many twin flames. So real quick, if you guys need a reading, make sure you're getting an individual reading on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. You can do the readings as often as you need. I do tons of energy healing. You need to really go in deep and start to clear and heal your energy, do activations. I do twin flame coaching. This is going to help you a ton because you're having to move through so much of a process as well too. So if you need me, make sure you are booking me on sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I have so many healing sessions and things like that. So we talked about having to move through this process, and I work with so many people. And when I see the most resistance happening, where you guys are pushing to see your twin flame, you're pushing for union now, and it's making you very upset when it's not happening, and it's doing the opposite of pushing them away, and it's not happening, and it's frustrating you guys and things like that. So oftentimes you're not going about it right, and you're having to move through your own inner process to get to that outer union as well too, and to manifest it and to move through some of your own issues. So the best thing you can do is keep healing your energy, clearing your energy, so that you can get to that space of union. Yes, I'm your twin flame. We've done this dance many lives together. This is for those questioning it. That is normal. I just saw someone yesterday like, is this person even my twin flame? Should I go be with a karmic? And I'm like, yeah, you reached that space. Like, right? Because this is normal that you're going to go through different stages of what is going to come up. Mentally, this is your ego, and it's going to flare your ego up. You're going to have to push past all of your programming, and it's going to make you very uncomfortable, and you're going to have your spins, and you're going to have your moments, and you're going to be questioning life, reality, and even this connection. So just know that this person is your twin flame. But if you want confirmation, do a reading on my site. I go way deep into the astrology and different things in past lives. Okay, so we have Queen of Pentacles energy. This is what you're being guided to work on. Cultivate your energy. Become abundant. Become luxurious, right? This is where your twin flame will be so drawn to you on an energy level. When you're tired and depleted, you don't have anything to give, especially in your relationships. It's probably the worst thing that can happen to us. When you're charged up and like really energetic, you're going to draw everyone to you. You're going to become really magnetic. So this is tapping in and becoming more secure and stable. You're needing to heal any type of insecurities or insecure attachment style. Your twin flame is going to bring them to the surface and show them to you, but it's up to you to heal them. Do not expect your twin flame to be your healer. They're not equipped for that. And oftentimes you're triggering them just as bad on their end, if not more, right? As well too. So you're needing to heal your past traumas, wounds, insecurities. All of it's going to come up very, very fast. If you have underlying issues, they're going to come up. So we talked about healing that, becoming financially independent, working on your business, becoming more social as well too. This is important. A lot of people are doing job stuff, entrepreneur stuff, like tapping into more abundance, manifesting, generating, and things like that in these 5D energies as well too. This is a money card, but it's also a feminine, divine feminine card as well too. You're being guided to shift into that Queen of Pentacles energy finally. Okay, so we have 3 of Pentacles. And this is a twin flame reading. So this is about working together, moving through obstacles together, and teamwork, being on the same page. Okay, so you guys are good at working together. When we see twin flames, you guys have the ideas, and that's what it is. Business ideas flowing. Like my twin flame gave me a lot of ideas. I know that they definitely got a lot of ideas off of me, right? And things like that. And so you'll notice when you come together and talk, you're going to get the perfect plans, ideas, what to do. And then if you're in a separation, God forbid, this person is missing you, and they realize that they cannot build with anyone the same way as they could with you. You guys are meant to be the ultimate power couple when you're twin flames, even saving the planet, doing big missions, generating a lot of positive energy. So if in separation, they might be realizing, like, if they're trying to move on, that they couldn't have what they have with you with anyone else, like this working together, how they get along, how they collaborate with you. So we do have this energy coming up. Okay, so we have Queen of Swords in reverse. There's some type of blocks on the divine feminine end. This is not learning from the past and not letting go, lashing out probably at your twin flame, being angry at your twin flame, and being negative or pessimistic. And this is like stuff from the past, and I can tell you all about this, that your twin flame may trigger some very deep past life stuff that is hard to grasp, and it can trigger a lot of deep emotions and feelings that you've probably been carrying around your whole life that they might make more clear as well too. So if you're upset with your twin flame, if you're angry, if there were things said, needing to heal that energy, this is like the truth, but it's like too harsh when it's in reverse as well too. You might have been pointing out flaws or things like that. Work on healing that. If you're upset with your twin flame, it's very much a block coming from the feminine side. Okay, so we have Wheel of Fortune, and this is like good luck, change of fortune. It's destiny. This is my destiny card, so it's destined event, karma. Big changes are coming. The universe is working in your favor with this twin flame situation, and luck is on your side. Doesn't matter how it looks, but you're needing to heal yourself to get to that place This is a huge month for healing right now. This is going to help realign your energy and get you back on track with yourself, which can get you back on track with your twin flame union. But you're needing to surrender this situation and to leave it in the hands of the universe, but not just not do anything. You're meant to double down on your healing right now and to really heal yourself in these energies. It's going to help heal you, and it's going to help shift your twin flame as well too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a reading for the Divine Masculine, see where they're at. So everyone's in a different space. Make sure you're checking out the tools that I have on my website. I have that twin flame section. It will help you so much navigating this. All right, we're going to do a reading for the masculine. All right, they might be in a space of solitude. They might be gone, and it could be different dynamics. If there's not a lot of communication, lack of communication, and you're wondering why, separation energy, they're spending time alone right now. They're in that solitude energy. They're not just retreating from you, they're retreating from the world. They're in that silence energy. They're going deep within yourself. Sometimes we need that for spiritual awakening. They're being guided to uncover and tap into deeper levels of themselves. You might feel like they're gone because this is Divine Feminine coming through in their reading. Like, where are they? You might feel like part of that you is missing without them, and that you're feeling this strongly as well too. All right, they're thinking about you, the feminine. They're being guided to tap into their feminine. They're thinking about you a lot. And, they're looking for their twin flame as well too, but they're needing to heal something within their feminine energies. They're going through some type of transformation. They're going through some upgrades. They're going through some soul searching. They're going through breakthroughs and getting ready for the next level. When we go into separations, it's very intense, transformative energy that takes us to the next levels of our union. When you come back together and you come into this reunion energy too, which is inevitable too. It just kind of is a matter of time. We talked about divine timing for the Divine Feminine, and knowing that this person will find their way back to you, but they need to shift some things and they need to heal some things and work on some things on their side right now. So once again, we have the ego coming up. We were talking about this a lot. This is pride. If they're not talking to you, not reaching out, this is they're too prideful. They're too in their ego about it. You've triggered their ego too. And, just see certain things or how they're seeing things. Right, they're feeling unworthy. They think you are a better person, or maybe they think you're a better person, or maybe you are a better person. Maybe they think that you're too good for them on some type of level. They might think that you're too good for them wherever they at. They have self-esteem issues. This relationship is giving them anxiety, the thought of commitment, and the universe is pushing them towards, this is the real deal. They might know you want everything in life. Like, it could be kids, marriage, commitment, living together, like all of it. And this is very intense for them. The universe has been pushing them towards this union and like committed spiritual relationship, but this is giving them anxiety or triggering underlying anxious attachment or anxiety issues. This is stress, depression, panic attacks, and restless. When you're apart, they're having a lot of negative depression, anxiety for those in separation, can't sleep, the dreams, right? And everything like that. The thoughts that they're trying to work through as well too. They're having to work on their own ego right now. Right, there could have been, they might not have been truthful with you about certain things, because that is part of this card, is the 3D mask, like whether some things, okay, sometimes it could be they weren't being honest about their true intentions with you. They might have been kind of like lying to you about certain things. Now this could be a layer deeper where they weren't honest about their feelings. They might have a hard time opening up and talking about things, or, putting things into words, or, expressing how they were feeling to you as well too. This is the ego mask that they put on, and it's just easier for them to put on their 3D self and go back to the 3D kind of deal, but they found they can't with you. Trust in the divine timing of this relationship. Have patience. This is trust the divine knows when to. The divine is trying to get you both ready on a higher level and to help you both heal whatever's gone wrong in this connection. Okay, Divine Feminine wants that phone call, communication opening up, and that's okay. And Divine Masculine knows that anyway. They know where you stand, and there's some kind of layer within themselves, inner journey they got to go through. Like, they're getting a lot of signs, synchronicities, and coincidences, messages from the universe that remind them of you. Could be number codes that are specific to you. Could be, seeing things that like you both loved when you were together, right? You love a certain kind of taco and they're seeing those tacos all over their TV or whatever. They're, getting a lot of reminders about you. They're not able to put you out of mind. I came to Earth just to be with you. They know that on some type of level. Only in losing you did I realize what I had. This is the space they need. This is why if there's a separation, leave this person be. They have to do some soul searching and wake up to this connection. Only in being without you can they realize that as well too. I long for you in a way only you would get. They are thinking of you, longing for you, and you're probably feeling that, Divine Feminine, if you can't put this person out of mind, that they're pulling on your energy, right? And things like that. That's where the chaser dynamic, they're really pulling on you as well too. And so you might be feeling that like push pull with them. You might be thinking about them all day because they're thinking about you all day. They are longing for you, but they may have some inner work they're doing. This separation is for you to heal. And so you're needing to heal certain things, Divine Feminine. Okay, so we have 9 of Wands. We're seeing this a lot. This is like the having the walls up and like their guard up, and they're feeling drained from fighting, wounded warrior. And this is from the past, and you might have pushed too hard to be let in and it might have made it worse for the Divine Feminine. But this is like fight or flight. This is like them trying to be strong and trying to stay in that masculine energy as well too, but they're really stressed out over this situation. This might have put them in fight or flight. That's like literal detachment, running away, right? Things like that, arguing with you, things said, ego state. A lot has come up around this connection and they're tired from it all. They're tired from having their walls up. Okay, so we have 2 cups in reverse. Sometimes this is separation because I always think of 2 of cups as union. So this is like unrequited feelings. And this is like imbalances, separation. There's some type of breakup, arguments, and not seeing eye to eye. This is not union energy. This is blocks in the union. Something has happened. Things said, a breakup, separation energy, and needing to deal with this as well too. And it could have just been whatever's come up. Okay, so we have the King of Wands in reverse. This is lacking the energy to accomplish their goals. And this is where the masculine's at. They're feeling tired. They're taking a back seat to their goals. They might be being rude. It could be to you, but to other people, I always say, like, I always think it makes you snappy when you're in the separation. So they're like trying to stay in their comfort zone and not wanting to step outside of their box or their comfort zone. And their ego has them kind of trapped, right? Because we're talking about ego a lot in this as well too. And they're needing to shift out of that, but they're not having the motivation to come forward or do anything about it. 2 of Pentacles, they're trying to balance the different areas of their life. They're being flexible with ups and downs. And I always think of this as balancing the 3D and the 5D. They're trying to stay on 2 timelines. Like they got one with their old life and then the new, and maybe their old life won out or union does. And they're trying to balance a lot. Like they're trying to kind of stay in between worlds and it's not working at a certain point. You got to kind of shift or be shifted. And they're trying to hold on to their old life like really, really bad. But it's hard because they're, having these glimpses of other timelines and it's like they're all over the place. They're trying to hold this up. It's a balancing act and it's exhausting. They can't do it. Maybe they're going in between worlds or have a lot of different dynamics or situations or a lot going on. And it's like too much at a certain point as well too. Needing to heal any separation issues or ego issues that are adding to the union on the Divine Masculine side. All right, I'm going to go on that note anyways, but if you guys need a reading or anything like that, healings, book them on my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. Have a beautiful day.